Hi, this is John with Acts 4:12 Revival. Sometimes the circumstances of this life can leave us feeling forgotten or abandoned, as if we don't matter. In Isaiah chapter 49, God's people were at a similar point. They were in exile at that time, and they felt as if God had turned against them or had forgotten them. In Isaiah 49:14 we read, "But Zion said, the Lord has forsaken me. My Lord has forgotten me." Yet one verse later, we have God's answer to them. In 49:15 and 16, we're told this, "Can a mother forget the baby at her breast? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." God promised Israel here that he had not forgotten them. He had not abandoned them. He had not turned away. The idea that he had engraved them on the palms of his hands gives a picture of having them always present before him, mindful of them. And that image carries over for us into the New Testament, where in John chapter 20 we find that Jesus bears the marks of his crucifixion in his hands. The nail marks in his hands passing from being a sign of suffering into being a sign of love. Romans 5:8 declares that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Consider what that means for your life. Jesus did not just die for some nameless crowd, for some unnumbered throng. He died for you personally. He paid the full penalty for your sin before you ever committed them, before you were ever born. He knew the life that you would live, and yet he went to the cross for you so that if you would but repent and follow and obey him and love him, you would be saved for eternity. That gives us many lavish promises of the love of God in our life. So if you feel abandoned, you're not. If you feel like maybe you've strayed a little too far, you haven't. If you feel that Jesus could never love someone like you, knowing what you've done and who you've been, he promises that he does. So take hope. And just remember that when he was on the cross, you were on his mind. Blessings.